Charles and Kobe and Lindsay will tutaw. Kami ba tedel mal esel staff for Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Environment. So mal appreciate commitment kami kuk girel belaw, and then le decide kuk me ngania te alrawr ministry ko me. So I wanted to ask you, Charles, you're the newest, been here maybe 2 weeks. I know you've had very broad experience in diplomacy. You've lived outside of Palau for many years as well. Maram ko decide return and Merbelao and why this work.
Oh, well, thank you, Minister.
So that's good, Chair. So even when you left Palau, you were still working for Palau. So we really want to thank you for that commitment to Palau. I think that's something that we all aspire for, and sometimes we look for opportunities elsewhere, but you went and you came back. I'm a strong believer about Kidarada Belao leaving Palau. We get to appreciate our home a lot more than when we here all the time, and we get to expose to different level of cultures, different people, different way of living, and we get to appreciate Palau, and while we have at least that's how I feel when I traveled anywhere in the kind of work that I did prior to joining the government and with the government. Every time I exit the airport, feel the fresh air and feel the welcome that Palau has for me, I always feel very proud. You're also very young, probably younger than Charles when he returned to Palau. I know he returned last year. What brought you back home, and what kept you in Palau for the last 2 years? I know at some point literal leave Palau, but you decided to stay. What kept you here? And you, Lindsay, I know you grew up in the States and you went to school and you came to Palau and you worked while getting a master's degree and you spent some time working for Micronesia region while living in Palau. So wala ko kora experience ra ka when what brought you back to Palau after growing up in the States?
So lang yung sistema ka. I actually grew up in Palau, and di ko lang high school kami. At from high school in California, in Marseille, and then Massachusetts, and 4 years of school. At it's an all-women's school, and it gave me a really good experience. It's Mount Holyoke College. I got my bachelor's there on international relations because at the time ako kasi halat ko ramar politics. And then may intern na belaw Recruitment and sa environment. Makilutan na school and then finalized my major. Mo include environmental policy and management. So after that, hindi iba pa tinanong ko kasi anywhere you go in life, think of your home. So sige ako manle mentality na like throughout my college years. Kasi I'm always gonna go. So that's what I did after college. Play in order of Recruitment 5 years, and then while I was there, I kind of learned a lot about the research aspect of environmental work and its contributions to policy making here in Palau. And then I kind of nakakapalta kasi ako di alalakawan at toy, so I absolutely research, and then I kind of needed more challenge in my life, I guess, so I decided to pursue a master's degree while I was still working and pregnant with my first child. And then after I got my master's, I also decided that I think I've learned as much as I could here at the center, Macross Rechad. And then I went to work at the Micronesia Challenge regional office as the coordinator. And then I was there for a year and a half, and I got to learn more about our region and the environmental challenges that we face in the region before I came to the ministry. While I like the work on the regional level, or on this one, like bring it back home for me and learn more about our work here in the government concerning the environment. So that's
So, Umsulalte then, Kobe, I really like the title of our podcast today. Really was Rechad ma al-Ad, because Rechad are foundation for everything. So gukto mesra ministry given without people, we're not able to function as an institution. So a big part of priority for us is how do we build the capacity rather well to be able to carry on the work that serves the people of Palau. You come with a very different level of experience. Lindsay with research and policy experience, Charles with very long experience in diplomacy, and Kobe, a young Palawan who's still trying to figure out what that future will be for him. And I hope sa gidel interaction or gidel as colleagues helps others to redefine if they're still trying to define their path. So for me, I started sa Cotalmora College. I spent about 2.5 years in a seminary. I've always wanted to serve people. So kulumdas was sabok padre. That's the path that I will take to serve people. But kukmlong and mlomanel was saying it's not something that fits me. So I continue in the field of science, biology. And really didn't know what I wanted to be. I stayed in school because I was worried that abolak nga na school, yakmam karang. That's the only reason why I stayed in school and finished a bachelor and finished my master's degree. Luckily, I kuluro labangel professor by the name Dr. Robert Richmond. He has a very long connection with Palau. Ngaltang sira Bokmarek, and then PICRC, Palau International Coral Reef Center, opened its doors. So as soon as I finished my master's degree, he said, "You need to go back home." Macmillan River Peak Creek. That got me exposed to new ways of thinking. Not only the research, but other Gimuluro Loventrir, and particularly working with community. Through a mentorship or Noah Idong, Gidadim Dangalil, one of our environment champion, namely Speaker of the House of Delegates. He mentored us Laurel Loventrir Adrablu. So I got introduced to communities across Pabaldao, got to understand the perspectives ra other evolution lomesa science, how they understand and how they appreciate information. And I got to learn from a lot of older Palawans, Selguk, defining your character as a person. So I came in with science knowledge, but I wasn't well defined as to who I was and who I wanted to be. So working with different people molded me to be who I am and where I am today. That's why the title really resonate with my journey, because the institutions and organizations that I've been lucky enough to work with helped mold me to what I am today. But I think one thing that kind of defined me was that the appreciation for serving others. Siya ko raman may help define ngag as a person, and where I went, that was my one key character that I wanted to strengthen and build. So the work that I do is all about doing something to serve others. So I feel like my previous job doing conservation work and working with communities was really about contribute back to the community with the science information that I was able to bring forth. And now the opportunity Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Environment, there's expectation of the service that the government tagirel provide al Morarath. But cook to me personally, the opportunity that others gave me to grow to who I am is what I had also been focused on in this ministry. How do I create an environment for you as young Palawans to grow and define who you want to be? So sige ako one of key priorities ra ministry gidel. It's not just about producing more clams, producing more pigs, producing more crops. It's about how we produce more Palawans that are able to continue the institution of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Environment, but they do the work because they love to do what they do. We want to create a work environment, and we want to create a rule that when you wake up in the morning, you want to come to the office because you want to do the work You want to be around people whom you work with because they help lift you up, not push you down. So to me, siya important aspect the very title that you gave to our podcast today, Kobil Adam Alath, is really about that. So how did you come up with that?
Yeah, he already brainstorm rules, food, the understand. Okay, first of all, that title, podcast lagi talaga lang. That's the first thing. Second, ang like rhythm to it, so maybe kind of make it rhyme. But said about the flow portion is that the podcast for today. It's really about Tauryo Rame, Tauryo Bureau of Fisheries, Tauryo Bureau of Environment, Tauryo Bureau of Agriculture. You know, definitely. I don't know every single person in the ministry as a whole, but so I know like tas agriculture like malaroy da officer te at tira lang makalin mo ng guk malaroy da. Yeah, so siya build up connections based off of anything, especially the podcast.
So Segida Wanal, to me, is very important. You talked about brainstorming. You mentioned a few names. So Segida, the power of having people that you can bounce off ideas, you can go to share challenges, because sometimes all malmadak fail. So we try to figure out everything on our own. But failure as an opportunity, because unless you make a mistake, you're never gonna learn. And when you don't learn, you don't change. You stay with what you know, with who you know, with what you can do. But the opportunities is limitless for all of us. So Kamal, I thank you for sharing that experience of you bounced off ideas and you articulate ngara vision that created why we are doing. It's all about people, and you get to know people, and that's what brings in new ideas. We challenge each other, we push each other forward. So to me, that's a very important aspect of Ra'ath Ma'alath, and I hope that's something that we can continue to encourage everyone, rather well. Let's not focus on who you are, but what you know, what you can bring to the table, and how we bring all different perspectives to the table, and how we can come up with something that can bring us and lift us forward. So I give you the comments now. Any thoughts from any of you?
Well, thank you, Minister. It just kind of reminds me of a story and kind of a mantra that I would live by, and it was something that was taught to me when I was working at ARF. We had an instructor jokingly would say, if you feel like you know everything, you should just retire. But so I would always think, in the meaning of that is you always have to be willing to learn. You always have to be willing to work in a dynamic team setting and share these ideas. And I think the 2 weeks that I've been here, of course, I'm still trying to learn the ropes and understand the direction of what we're doing and our objectives. And I feel very comfortable working here. It's an honor. And yeah, I will always continue to try to learn until I eventually want to retire. But yeah, that'll be some time from now.
Retire is like 2 years from now.
No, it's just when you were saying sharing ideas and sharing what you learn and building up the people around you, because I'm always learning from something every day. I'm learning something from Kobe, I'm learning something from you. we have yet to really officially meet, but yeah, it's important that you're willing to learn and bring what you've learned to the table so that you can help build others around you.
I think the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Environment offers a lot of opportunity to help people, but to also learn. So we help and provide a service to individual person in a community. We also provide a support to more community itself. We provide support to more state. We provide support to more Belao as a whole. But we also work engage at the regional level. We work and engage at the global level. So we work within and all the way to the global community. So there's a lot of opportunities, but also challenges for us as individuals, as small organization. We get overwhelmed sometimes, like before even Charles started Laurier, laas karingil mo travel on behalf of the government. That's how small we are and how spread our work can be. And it's really up to us to figure out how do I prioritize what I do. So what I do helps me grow as well. Because when you grow, you help the institution and you help Palau. So that's something that I would encourage from the three of you and from all of us at the ministries. Focus on one thing that helps you grow direct while providing the service and doing the work for our stakeholders, for Palau and for our government and for our partners. Because to me that's the opportunity I was given. And I want to be able to share that opportunity with others. How do they grow themselves to be a big part of the growth of this ministry, the growth of Palau as a nation. So, para ko radyo the swim. Ako a question Ramil that you'd like to ask me kung ako yung perspective on things and real, personal, or so I nakalurir Palau International Coral Reef Center for 7 years. But while I was working at PICRC, and I knew Umi Isangbaw. Umi Isangbaw was conservation planner, Nature Conservancy. So about 2009, ang recruit na mo the Nature Conservancy. And me and I are classmates, high school classmates, and one more classmate University of Kwame, Mervela mot makalov TNC. Agidil Aulu 1 year, and then he left. He became a minister. Actually, before he became a minister, ngi mga kamaluk sa level alt makal marula conservation planning. Nga already indicator kasing sual mo uro government. Mga ukman le ngoda all the swagger government ten. Ak masinganam ko mara government. Mara government ten moda kasi amin marula waigal do kamo stuck. But he was very adamant kasi unless if we wanna sustain what we're doing in conservation, we have to make sure kasi ang sabihin nga niya government policy, ang sabihin nga niya institutions na governmental continue ka. But I had a very different mindset about the government. Magimle argue, nga di insist. So he was asked to be a minister about 2012. Yang ka-order Nature Conservancy. But man lo kladar kasi mlor he became a minister because I got good rule. Amal ko nga niya seamless connection with government, especially when it comes to policy, especially when it comes to fisheries. Munguram na rin sa igidil ngil connection of what I did at TNC ma government. But still I didn't want to work for the government. So I worked at Nature Conservancy for 11 years. And then nga mo nga PSL administration surang na. I was asked mo part transition committee. But I chose to be part of the transition committee held because I wanted to sort of understand we know Ministry of Health probably the biggest and the most challenging ministry na malklo malbato ka real expectation makplo part sige the transition to learn a little bit about the government system. So I didn't know President Whips personally. So Sarabal Maria transition report I'll start kora omyobara cabinet ringi, and he reached out to me. Mong mlees ka nga kasing dakal somal mo minister, and I said no. And the only reason why tilun di ako kasi well I was getting paid more where I was then to become a minister. So I was very selfish in terms of saying no. But I went home and for 3 nights I couldn't sleep because I felt bad about being asked to serve Palau, and I said no just because I would make less money. I went back and I said I'll consider being a minister of sige hindi ka Volmaif, hindi ka Emirate. So I said I'll consider being a minister. So July 2021, I was fortunate and lucky enough to be approved by the Senate to be the minister. But it has been one of the best decisions I've made because of the opportunity to help people grow. Not necessarily kasi we'll produce more aquaculture, the species will produce more crops, but I saw the opportunity for people to grow in this ministry. So momesra gel effort that we've been trying to do is really about people, because when you have good people, they will do the right thing to serve the people of Palau. And I believe you sitting here and all the staff within the bureau are doing that. I think it's just the need to make sure kasi we have a very focused vision. So Selma Mesra visionary giving really about people, Palau, science, and service. Those are four key principles by which we want this ministry to operate. Because when you have the right people, when you have Palau at heart, and when you plan and make decision based on information, you will provide that service that the people of Palau expect. So, say my journey to get to where I am today, and I would do it all over again because of the people that I work with. Any last comments before we wrap up? So that's a malungil point, Kobe, because you know, when you return from school, we first talked to you in 2023. El trial harakaw. The process went on for a while. So you found another opportunity. And then, kamlong yung tisay del dakam continue sayid for after 1 year. So we start talking to you again. And as you said, it took about 3 months. The recruitment process can be long. Sometimes issue funding. Sometimes issue paperwork. Sometimes issue gidel other over bukman mo overwhelm rabi over the pusot yal paperwork on time. So I did ask ngira ngalgel velal return from getting their education kasi there's many opportunities in Palau. Opportunities are open. Of course, the government sometimes the pay is not as attractive as if you go elsewhere. Sometimes yung the negotiations that we're going through try to accommodate and make sure yung sabiel within the process. Mga those understanding was saying it's not because we don't want you to take on the position. Sometimes that process takes longer. So the eskra understanding return in May al kwaseng mumaklo and of course even you we were entertaining an option kasi mem statal or intern while of the rule of so we can keep you in Palau because we heard you wanted to leave Palau. So I give you maybe the challenges what face within the recruitment process. It's really nobody's fault. It's the process that we have to go through, and sometimes it takes longer than we'd like. I would have loved for you to start the first day that we started talking to you. Even Charles took a little longer, and even Lindsay, even everybody that we had to recruit took longer. The previous organization, the process was very streamlined. That's where we want to be. But government, civil service rules that we have to follow. We're trying to improve on those. It takes time to improve, and sometimes we encourage interaction. When you get exposed to new ideas, you can tweak the system to work for the purpose of why it exists. Not just because we have to go from A to C that we have to do it. But when you've done it for the last 10, 20 years, you know it as a process. But when you get exposed to different ways of doing things, you can figure out how to tweak the system. So that's really us encouraging more interaction between ministries, so that we get to understand the process, but also the challenges, and how can we all work toward making the process more streamlined and efficient for everybody. So siya agora di telil, I know it's not a very clear answer, kasing it's going to be fixed tomorrow, but we're working toward so hopefully the next person that we recruit will not have to wait 3 months. Yeah. Any last word, Lindsay?
Well, in regards to recruitment, there's a lot of work I learned coming on this position. It's we need to just figure out who those people are so we can recruit and hire them.
Yeah, I think you still need to recruit 1 or 2 people, huh?
No, not really.
Oh, you fill those positions. That's good.
Yeah.
I know it's been difficult finding
It's been
people.
difficult to find.
Yeah, that's why I really like the title Ra'ad Ma'alath, because people would want to work with good people, with people they can easily connect with, and they want to work with an institution that has a reputation. And so that's really appropriate title for, because if we create a work environment where you want to work, you will be willing to make less money or even wait for the process to get in, because you know the institution has an integrity, and that's really what we want to build. Cabo Charles, last words from you. So the close and malmering asuliv el TD and rest of our staff from ministry, and especially arbitogol magigarel ngalgel velal na return and velal mo part rar ath mal other velaw el help with nation building. I think that's a very important aspect of what we do and what we help one another grow. So again, Wamal Masaul and Masaul Trigan Mosob Ilguk Omes, Yorang Sertial podcast tergider el alto tau. Invite ra Bekla Adel was a both part of Tagidel Adam Alad to grow and build Palau to the Palau we want to be for Palauans in the future. Oman Masulang.